Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, and this is my lovely, and it will be lovely, post-market wrap-up on this Thursday, July 29th, 2021. Well, how about this market? And what else would you expect after yesterday? Higher across the board. Crude oil, now about $74 a barrel. It's funny. Let me just share a bit of information with you. You remember Jim Cramer made that big claim that we had a top, and then he kind of got lucky. You saw crude take a hit, and I laughed. I said that was not the top. Well, it wasn't the top, and it's going back up again. The interesting thing about this is a lot of Jim Cramer fans, they really tried to beat me up. Meanwhile, they all turned around and looked just like clowns. Anyway, look, no, not the top for crude, not the top for this market, not the top for anything. Again, with the current situation, what happened? We continue to get, round after round of bad economic news, and it didn't stop. We got more today, which in a normal market would have actually, caused maybe stocks to sell off. So we found out, well, let's back up. Earlier in the week, we found out that new home sales cratered. Well, today we find out that pending home sales fell as well. And, prices continue to skyrocket. It's very interesting. No supply and demand here. We also found out that the GDP, gross domestic product report that came in today was a huge miss. Imagine my surprise here. These economists, they don't understand what's going on. They just don't get it. Economic growth is far less than what these economists predicted it would be. But again, forget about GDP. Let's look at GDP as a percentage of debt. It keeps ballooning, and no, it's hyper ballooning. So it's just nonsense. It's garbage. We are the most indebted nation in the history of the world. We're the most destitute nation in the history of the world. We're absolutely broke. And what do our policymakers want to do? Those that represent us, they want to keep borrowing trillions of dollars. Where does it come from? The Federal Reserve. It's going to create it out of thin air. We are in free fall. But again, the worse the economic gets, and I mean that, the higher the stock market's going to go, as the market's going to say to itself, hey, the Fed's going to keep buying, and they are. After the statements yesterday out of the mouth of Yellowstone Powell, they are years away from tapering, from, cutting back on asset purchases. And again, here's the big secret, people. The fact is, every single month, the Fed is buying at least $80 billion in treasuries. That's the bottom line. There's no top. Mortgage-backed securities, $40 billion at least. So there's no top here. And what else is the Fed doing? Funneling dollars around the world, effectively dollarizing the world. There's a reason for that, people. Imagine if you were, let's say, another central bank, and you had your own currency. Meanwhile, you have the Federal Reserve sending you pallets of dollars. Actually, it's just digital. So you can buy whatever you want. And that's exactly what the Federal Reserve is doing. And then you got the mechanism here. The Fed issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door. And people are sitting here wondering why we have skyrocketing inflation that's about to get much, much worse. According to the Fed freaking chairperson himself, he said inflationary pressures remain to the upside. Duh! Look, you knew all this, all of it. If you were watching the Fed yesterday, the Fed chair thing speak, you pretty much knew every word that was going to come out of his mouth before he even said it, because I told you what he would say. He's reading a script. He's following a playbook. And I'm going to let you in on a big secret that I don't want anyone else to know. So whatever you do, don't share this video, okay? I have the playbook. I have the Federal Reserve's playbook. I know exactly what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. So I think you should listen to what I'm telling you. It's all been thought out decades ago, all of it. And it's going to continue that way pretty much in perpetuity as the Fed buys it all, establish itself as the lender and buyer of last resort, as the United States and the world falls to its knees before the central banking cartel. That's all this is. It's a criminal organization. It's insane. Anyway, let's go back to the market. So higher across the board, crude oil surging. Sorry, Jim. You missed it, bro. You missed it. You were wrong on the top. And of course, the Jim Cramer fans had to go beat me up. Well, you all look pretty dumb now, don't you? I love it when that happens. You have no idea how much I love that. I've been telling people about this market going up and up and up, and I've been told I've been wrong thousands and thousands of times because some other guy said the polar opposite of me. It was a top, or it was a crash. And they've been wrong, 100% of the time. You can't make that up. You can't make it up if you try to. Gold and silver today, people putting on very strong gains. 10-year yield, okay, relatively stable, and you watch the action in the market, and the dollar cratered. I mean, what else would you expect? The Fed is diluting the dollar by design, by running their inflation creation machine. This is a deliberate act. And again, I really want to know, I just honestly want to know, when do you think any one of our representatives is going to call the Fed chair before a committee and ask him why he continues to run an inflation creation machine? Okay, you know what this is: issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door, funnel dollars around the world, okay? And why the Fed is not maintaining its mandate, okay, congressional mandate of price stability. Okay, there's no price stability here. According to the Fed chairperson, Yellowstein, it's contained too. Do you believe for a split second that inflation is contained? Or do you see it widespread? You see a stock market hyperinflating. You see housing hyperinflating, food inflation. You tell me what's not inflating. Everything's ballooning. Debts, deficits, debt to GDP ratio. It's unbelievable. And the distraction mechanism. Oh, it's supply chain. Oh, it's energy. It's the Fed. They are the direct cause of all this, okay? Anyway, people, you know all this better than anybody else here. What else is there to say? Look, what you can expect moving forward is more of the same. Continuing, we're talking about abysmal economic news. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands, multiple hundreds of thousands of people every single week applying for first-time unemployment benefits. And going back to what I just said, debts and deficits ballooning, factory activity slowing down, GDP missing the mark. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the stock market. It's completely disconnected from reality. But there will be a moment of reckoning. You can count on it, all right? But for now, I've kept all of you, I don't know how many thousands of you, tens of thousands, on the right side of this market for a very, very, very long time. And I'm very, very proud to say that. With regard to other assets, people, you know what to do. You got to continue to acquire gold and silver physical, more specifically silver. Okay, just load up on it. Whatever you can afford every month. In my opinion, do your own research on this as always. You need to be hoarding this stuff. Again, I've asked you to do this before. I'm going to ask you to do it again. Look up the Dow gold ratio and the gold silver ratio, and you will see why. I've been explaining to you for years that I feel that silver is the most undervalued asset on earth. With regard to cryptocurrencies, they are catching a bit, and within somewhat of a reasonable period of time, Bitcoin will retake its old high. I am 99% certain of that, so you can write that down. And that's going to pull the other cryptos higher as well. Anyway, people, so that's pretty much it for today. Just been lovely. I'm going to ask you again to please share this video, get it out there. I count on all of you. I count on you. I really do. to post my work on social media sites. I am not there anymore. You know the story. I got banned from Twitter. I got banned from LinkedIn. I banned myself from F-Book. And you know what F stands for. So I need you, because you're all part of my team. All right, this isn't Greg Mannarino's thing. I want you to understand that. If you are here and you're watching this video and you think what I'm saying is interesting, this is our thing, okay? Our thing. And this is how you make a difference in the world, by putting out information like this and getting people to understand what's really happening around them, because most people have not one solitary clue. All right. Love you a lot. See you in the morning.